Yo, it's the Fields Bros. NBA free agency day one. So much has happened. The first 24 hours have gone by. Basically, it's 11:21 at night, Eastern time, where I'm at, up in Michigan. So you have uh, LeBron James. We'll just start with the biggest one. You have LeBron James agreeing to a 4-year deal with LA. So all those people who thought he was going to stay in Cleveland, no, that ain't happening. There's no reason for him to stay in Cleveland. I made a video about this way back during the Celtics series. I think game one or two. So now, obviously, the Lakers are going to want to improve this team, but since LeBron has signed there, it's going to make building this team a lot easier. Um, I'd rather have the Lakers roster than the Cavalier roster. So going forward, you're going to have a much better chance to win not in Cleveland. And more and the most important thing I like about LeBron in the West is obviously LeBron's made 9 straight finals, or 8 straight finals, 9 overall, and the Warriors have made 4 straight finals. So by being in the West, not only is he in the West, he's in the same division as the Warriors here. They're in the Pacific Division, so they're going to play like 4 times a year, and obviously they can't play in the finals anymore. So basically, in the Western Conference Finals, if it's Lakers Warriors, this is like a legacy buster type game because something has to give. Either the Warriors' streak of making finals in a row at 4 is going to stop there, or LeBron is going to have his making consecutive finals streak broken. That's going to either continue or stop. So it's a way for LeBron James to halt the Warriors dynasty and just end them at making 4 straight appearances. They won 2 or 3 or whatever. So, you know, LeBron James, I'm glad he's in the Western Conference, and it's not going to be as bad as people think. So let's just start with that. Next, obviously, there were some deals that happened a lot sooner, like that. Paul George, he committed to OKC 1 minute after the free agency began, 12:01 in the morning, earlier this morning. So he agreed with a 3-year deal with a player option for a 4th year. So I'm actually pretty surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm relieved that uh, it wasn't just a foregone conclusion that he was going to go to the Lakers just because he grew up there. If people think Russell Westbrook can't attract star players, you're fooling yourself. Obviously, when Paul George was traded for initially for Oladipo, at that point in time, it was a known thing that he wanted to play in LA after his contract's up. But obviously, Russell made such a good impression on Paul George in 1 year. Obviously, they didn't finish the playoffs well against Utah. Uh, I think Paul George and Melo both in the last game of that series had 5 and 6 points respectively. And Paul George went into that series into the final game averaging nearly 28 a game. So Paul George was great in the Utah series except for the final game. Melo was really never around. But now we're going to see the best version of Paul George because last year he wasn't completely all in. He had a nice year, but now that he's committed long term, he's going to start, we're going to get the best effort that we can get from Paul George. And this is good because he's younger than Westbrook by a couple of years, and Russell's still young. He's 29, 30. So Russ has his prime of his career ahead of him here. Melo opted in with the Thunder. He took his money. So basically, Oklahoma City is going to have a chance to right the ship last year. We have a bunch of talent, so it's time for us to get some championships. More free agency. Chris Paul has re-signed with Houston, 4-year deal. So they have unfinished business there in Houston. So I expect them to get Capella back too. So basically, the Rockets are just going to try to stay healthy is really their only thing to compete for a title. So the Western Conference is really, a lot. Basically, the top 5 players in the world are all in the Western Conference at this point. You have LeBron, Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry. Like, that's 7 dudes right there, and those are all by far better than any players in the Eastern Conference. So top players in the world, all of them are in the West right now. At least your top 6, 7 players. The East has some good players, but most of their guys are bottom 10. They have maybe two top 10 players in the league in the East, and Kyrie Irving and probably Giannis, I guess. But the last free agent, Kevin Durant, he's staying in Golden State. He took a 2-year deal, really a 1-year deal with a player option, the same deal he's been taking. So he's basically has the option to be a free agent every single season, which makes sense. There's no reason for the Warriors to bust up their team. So that's basically they're trying to win another championship. They're defending champions. And aside from those guys, some of the other free agents that are still out there that are, I guess you'd consider them big names. DeMarcus Cousins, who's coming off his Achilles injury. Obviously, that's going to affect his money. But if somebody gambles on him and he's good, like that's really going to help your team. So for Cousins, what makes the most sense is if you want to, obviously he's earned at least a good amount of money. So what you do is you sign him on a 1 or 2 year deal with a team option. If he wants to get paid extremely high dollars, then just give him the team option. That way, the team's not locked into him if he's not performing. And if he is good, like he's going to say he is, then, it's not going to make a difference anyways, because if he's able to produce, then he's, obviously you're going to accept the team option. So, lower level free agents, you have not Rudy Gay, Wade's still a free agent, but he's probably going to re-sign with the Miami Heat unless he goes and teams up with his buddy in LA again. Which I wouldn't be shocked if D Wade was playing for the Miami Heat or the LA Lakers. So that's basically the day one of free agency, all the major things, anyways. So hope that gives you guys some info. Take it easy, guys.